looks like one. I don't know. Did you guys put another one out? I don't know. So we confirmed that and we celebrated. Popular Science was there also to take pictures. Then we had a nice celebration there. We were finally done, and our rover made it in one piece and never broke. That was a really proud moment. Here's an overview of some of the public events we did. OMSI is the Oregon Museum of Science and Industry. It's a very big science museum for children and adults alike in Oregon. It was very important. We had a few high school robotics challenges, OSU alumni event. Union Bank asked us to come to their lobby, and we ended up getting on live TV for that. We had an OSU football team promotional event, which Kevin mentioned a few days ago, or I think, was it Dr. Zubrin? I think it was that. And yeah, that was pretty great. We were able to drive with the football team. You see video of that as well. We had a presentation at the ASME conference. We were present at our own College of Engineering barbecue. We had public competition rehearsals in a local park that we would announce in newspapers, and the public came out to that. We were at the Ocean Engineering Expo, which showcases senior design projects. RoboShock is another robotics competition, start sessions for incoming freshmen, as well as the Da Vinci Dates, which is a science and art festival in Corvallis held every year, and it's very popular. A lot of people show up for that. During all these events, we drove our rover around, often involving driving over people, which we first did at this event. Here is Oregon Governor candidate Chris Dudley. He was there. He was very interested in our rover. Every time we go to these events, we discuss, URC, the Mars Society, and robotics and stuff like that. So here's our first record of 33. 33 students that we drive over. You can see here the rover's still tethered. This was early on in the testing process. This is probably about February or so. Then we went to another robotics event there. Here's us at the alumni event dancing with the rover on the dance floor. It was a very formal event, but here's a university robot spinning circles on a dance floor and skating around. Here's us driving over our football team. This is sometime in May. And here's us in the park with some kids. You see one of our team members dressed as an astronaut. He was the one we used to practice finding. We asked all these kids, do you guys want to be astronauts? They're like, yeah, we want to be astronauts. Except one of them wanted to be a train driver, and I'm going to ask you which one you think that is. Here are some more excited kids. And here's an overview of our rover. And with that, I'll show you some of the videos. They're going to be all back-to-back. So I'll start with the football team, then I'll show you some of our camera's performance, then I'll go through all the different competitions. So here's us driving over the football team. We didn't expect they'd be so excited about it, but they sure had a good time. And we didn't think football and robotics would mix so well. They definitely did. So that was great fun. And all these videos, by the way, most of these videos are available on YouTube. You can just search OSU Mars Rover, and tons of them will pop up. Even if you just look up Mars Rover, on the first page on YouTube, one of our videos comes up. So here's a demonstration of our camera. We're sort of zoomed in on an area here. This is after looking for the astronaut, and you'll zoom out, you'll see how good the zoom actually is. It's 432x. So helped us find the astronaut that way. Here's us picking up the plug. It's all sped up, and we cut out the boring section, so it looks like it's a lot easier than it was. But this shows you the view that we had. I'm controlling the camera, and my buddy Joe, he's the one driving the arm. And you'll see up here pretty soon, there's going to be a little spider that pops up on here. And he's going to hitch a ride on the rover as well. There he is. And each of those flashes are snapshots that we take with the camera, so we have pictures. There's a spider on the rover, and there's us plugging it in. And here's the video that one of the judges took. And this is us trying to attempt the last plug, but we realize we're running out of time, so we just back off and drop it and gun it for home. You can see how we're using our steering system there. All our wheels turning. We can even move forward while the wheels are like this. So all that sort of thing saves us time. And you can see we have the immense ground clearance there as well. We had about 10 inches of ground clearance while our center of gravity was only 11 inches from the ground. So we had a very, very stable and very high ground clearance robot that can drive over any kind of terrain. So it was a pretty amazing design. And here's the sample return task, also highly sped up about 4 times actual speed. You'll see us investigating the first site you saw pictures of. Looking for a sample, I was very hoping we could just pick one up. If we could see about what we were doing here. And you can see here the wheels are sort of pointed inward as well. When we're parked on slopes, we use that as our parking brake. It worked really well. So here we're going to start taking panoramic pictures, also a requirement for the event. Every site you had to get sort of a contextual picture to see where the site was located. So we'll start that here. Each of those flashes is our picture that we're taking. So our camera was very good. We had very good control of it. When we zoomed in, we had our software guy slow down and make our controls more finely tuned. So even while we're zoomed in, we can move precisely. And when we zoom out, we can get big scans. Here's us at the actual site where we're digging. You can see our view of our scoop. Up here is our high-resolution camera that we were also able to switch to. We use that for taking high-resolution shots of the sample we're about to pick up, which was also required. And you'll see when we grab a sample, we'll lift up the scoop and gobble it up and let it drop into the bag. So we could have kept digging and filled up the entire bag with dirt and probably brought back a 400-gram sample, but that wasn't required and not necessary. So quite an ingenious arm control there. Here's a video put together by Kevin's team. And that's showing let's see if I can get audio going on here.
There's not a whole lot of audio on this.
Not sure if you can hear that, but there'll be some questions there at the end when we're done. And a nice final statement as well.
Yeah, guys.
Step up in front of it now?
Yep, 338. Is there any radio signal from that old?
We drove towards the marker and then we saw some footprints, so we kept driving. And we saw right over the ridge. And we saw something that looked like a spacesuit, so went right for it.
Easy, right?
Well, it's a year of hard work. Yeah, makes it easy. So I think that's a pretty good summary. That if you spent the time and you go through all the testing, a year of hard work does make it easy in the end. If you do all the hard work in the end, it should be easy, and that's what we were going for. So we're really happy to be able to do this, and thanks to the Mars Society, and really glad we had the opportunity to educate so many people about space robotics, Mars Society, University Rover Challenge, and really hope to get more teams to join. So thank you, Kevin. Thanks for this opportunity.
Big congratulations again to the Oregon State team.
Do you have questions?
Yeah. Yeah. If there are any questions, not too far over. I think.
Yeah.
If you shout yours out, John, I'll repeat it, just for you.
The teams are allowed to spend $15,000 at most. This keeps it sort of fair for teams that have high budgets as well as teams that are, very meager. We had a total budget allocated by our primary sponsor, Oregon Space Grant from NASA in Oregon. They gave us $8,500. The rest we accumulated through sponsorship. The total value of the rover ended up being $14,400 or so. $8,500 of which was spent from our actual budget. Yes.
I was wondering, you keep saying that the primary sponsor of the event was TASC, but you've never said who TASC is.
That is an excellent lead-in. Thank you very much. TASC is it's actually it's an old company, it's a new company, It's been around since the 60s. It went through a series of acquisitions in the 90s, and in 2000 it was purchased by Northrop Grumman. And it was a division of Northrop Grumman actually until this past December. And in December it was sold off and is now an independent company. It is one of the premier systems engineering and advisory services companies to the government. Largely in the defense community. I'm also an employee of TASC. It's a quick nutshell of who it is. So if anybody wants more info, feel free to come up later.
I just wanted to